What's up, party people? I'm back with another running video, and this is going to be a race breakdown from the 2025 DC Rock and Roll Half Marathon. I made a short race video, so if you missed that, check it out here. And please like and subscribe to the channel. You can comment too if you're just dying to say something. Without further ado, you all ready to rock and roll? Get it? Because it's a dad joke, and I'm a dad, and the race was the rock and roll. Oh, okay, forget it. Moving on. Let's pick things up on Friday, the day before the half. It was that Friday when I realized I may not be at full health for the race. I wasn't sick, but I was a bit under the weather, and I could feel it too. I didn't feel badly enough to drop out, but I knew that being at 85 to 90% of my full health might greatly affect my performance the next morning. Regardless, I was able to head into the city to the convention center and pick up my race packet and bib. All right, it is the day before the race. The half marathon is tomorrow morning, so I am here to pick up my packet at the convention center for the DC Rock and Roll Half. An update on me, because in my last video I told you I was a little bit sick this week. Unfortunately, I have not gotten much better. And in fact, I've gotten a little bit worse, which is not great. So I don't know what that means for the race, but I'm still gonna try as of now. Hopefully I can get some sleep tonight and then see how I'm doing in the morning. So off to get the packet, the race bib, the t-shirt, whatever else they're gonna give me, and I will take you along for the ride. If you've never been to a rock and roll expo, they're huge. It's a well-oiled machine, and it's a fun little time. Of course, there is the packet pickup portion, but there is also a huge sign with every runner's name on it, places to pose for a picture or video, and of course lots and lots and lots of people advertising new products and selling things. After a quick trip through, I was back outside in just over 45 minutes. Okay, Expo complete. Got my bib, got my shirt, registered for next year. Whoops! And I also bought a new pair of shoes, which I probably didn't need, but I really wanted a new pair of shoes for the treadmill. So I got an older pair of Saucony Endorphin Speed 3s, which I really love. They were on sale, quite a steep discount. So I figured why not pick them up while I'm here. And now I've got a new pair of treadmill shoes. All right, so now time to go back to work, finish the day, try to sleep tonight, and see how I'm feeling in the morning. After I finished work for the day, I was able to come home, eat a good meal of pizza, and get my things prepped for the next morning. And then guys, I actually got a decent night of sleep the night before. I slept for more than 7.5 hours. Thankfully, the race didn't start until 8 a.m., so I was up around 6 and in the car into the city by 6:45. After a traffic-free drive, I parked and began the just under 1 mile walk to the start line. Good morning. It is race day down here in Washington, D.C. Already doing better than I did last year when I could not find a parking space and only made it to the start line about 2 minutes before I started running. So I'm down here about 35 minutes before the race starts. How am I feeling? I'm okay. Not great, not terrible. Do I feel like I can go under 150? No. Do I feel like I can set a personal best? Probably not. I think I'm gonna stick with a 2-hour pace group and then see if I can go from there, but we'll see. Not really sure what my plan is yet, but I'm just glad to be down here on time and gonna get ready to go. The weather for the race was actually pretty good. It was about 45 degrees at the start of the race, but the air was so moist that it was almost like it was misting for portions of the run. It wasn't, but there was this haze that kind of stuck around all morning. Following a short warm-up, I attempted to use the bathroom. The lines for the bathroom were so long, I wasn't gonna make it, so I am pulling a risky move, skipping that, just doing a little warm-up, and it's about time to start. Due to the size of the race, I think there were somewhere around 18,000 participants. Runners went off in different corrals based on predicted finish time. Since I had initially thought I could get under 150 when I signed up, I was assigned to Corral 3. This group ultimately proved to be too fast for me, but I will say that there was a big advantage I didn't really consider. Because I knew I was going to be slower, I actually started the very back of Corral 3. And because there was a wave start with about 3 minutes in between corrals getting onto the course, I started running with almost no one around me. It was really nice. There was no jockeying for position and no extra steps wasted trying to weave around other runners. I will say that going off in Corral 3 meant I wasn't going to be running with the 2-hour pace group, but since I knew I would be faster than 2 hours, I was okay with that. All right, let's get into the race. I've got to say that if you're looking for a unique way to see some of the most famous places in DC, this race is one way to do it. Throughout the course of the race, you run by the Washington Monument, the White House, the Lincoln Memorial, almost up to Arlington Cemetery, the Kennedy Center, through some awesome neighborhoods off the beaten path, and finish running straight into a priceless view of the US Capitol. Now, I'll admit that since I live near DC and worked in the city for many, many, many years, I definitely take it for granted being around such a cool place. But even I was able to recognize how cool it was to run amongst such history. That's the huge positive to running this race. The negative is that the streets of DC are in pretty rough shape. I really didn't think I would harp on this point this year since I managed to avoid potholes and sprained ankles, but I quite literally saw the exact same pothole I stepped in last year, which caused my severe ankle sprain.
Twisted my ankle pretty badly, right near the first water stop. Giant pothole in the road, just stepped and really messed up my left foot.
Unbelievable, or rather, maybe totally believable. I found myself looking down a whole heck of a lot to make sure I didn't repeat my injury from last year. Okay, the actual race. Course support is pretty solid throughout. There are some quiet patches, but the people of the city really come out to cheer, especially in the opening stretch, in Adams Morgan, and in the final 1.1 miles. The volunteers were also amazing throughout, and there is ample water, Gatorade, and entertainment throughout the race. A special shout out to the drummers in the back half of the race. The first part of the course is relatively flat with just a few rolling hills through the first 3 miles. I split 3 miles in just under 26 minutes, but I noticed that my heart rate was higher than it typically would be at this pace in a race. I also observed that my breathing was a little more labored than typical. Looking back, I think the only logical explanation is to attribute this to the small illness I was fighting. Miles 3 to 7.5 are almost entirely flat, and I really felt like I settled in during this stretch. And then, oh boy, there is a rough uphill starting at about mile 7.5. I wasn't surprised by this since I ran this race last year, but I definitely wasn't prepared. At this section in the race, there is a nasty initial climb. You can see that in this portion especially, my heart rate flew up and my pace took a nosedive. You can hear the disdain in my voice right when I crested.
Oh, it's horrible. That hill is horrible. Oh.
Once you get past this hill, there is a continued climb for about the next 3/4 of a mile. This was tough, but since it's more gradual, it was definitely more tolerable. I think this is where I start to feel most fatigued during a half marathon. I'm through about 8 miles, but then the thought starts creeping in that you still have 5 miles to go. The data bears this out too. My pace dropped significantly for miles 8 and 9, and I was feeling it too.
Through mile 9, everything's starting to hurt. Pain in my right shoulder. Who knows what that's about? 4 to go.
Then once I got to 10 miles, it was like a whole new world had opened up. Just 5K to go. I've done a 5K boatloads of times. I can usually distinctly remember my attitude shifting around mile 10.5, and it definitely did in this one too.
10 miles finished. 5K to go.
I do have a distinct memory of trying to push the gas when I got to mile 11, and then instantly regretting that decision. I was actually able to push the pace for the last 2.3 miles, but oh boy, it did not feel great. After nearly 2 hours of hard running, I turned the corner from 6th Street to Pennsylvania Avenue and booked it as hard as I could for the last 1/10 of a mile to the finish. My official time was 1:55.56. That time is about 1 minute 30 seconds slower than my personal best, but at the same time, it was a minute and change faster than the same race in 2024, and I didn't leave with a sprained ankle. After the race was over, I cheered on a buddy of mine who was also racing.
Let's go, Hobie! Let's go, Hobie! Woo!
And then caught up with him for a little bit before walking back to my car. So would I do this race again? Heck yeah. If you remember from earlier in the video, I'm already registered to do it next year. It's relatively inexpensive, and I have to say, I just really love the half marathon distance. If you'd have asked me 2 years ago, I would have never said that. It's challenging and the training is tough, but it doesn't take up an excessive amount of time. So that's it for this video. Stay tuned for 2 more race videos / breakdowns / whatever they turn out to be coming soon for races I've actually already run. The Cherry Blossom 10 miler and the inaugural Alexandria Half Marathon. Both of those races actually went better than this one. As always, I'm grateful to run, and I'm grateful for today. Thanks for watching. See you soon.